Jai Guruji. Many miraculous years with Guruji. I have been lucky to be associated with Guruji since November 1984. Since then, a spate of miracles have blessed my life. Too many for all of them to be written here. Has also touched the life of many friends and acquaintances. I am recounting some of these satsang here. I first met Guruji when my wife's left shoulder ligament was torn in a scooter incident. We came to know that a great sant was residing in Chandigarh, and even doctors of the prestigious PGI were referring terminal cancer cases to him. We went to him. Since then, our experiences span nearly 20 years of being at the Mahapurush feet. We went to Guruji at 4 a.m. and he held my hand for a long time. It felt as if nectar was flowing through my body. Guruji then told me that I was wearing an Ikmukhi Rudraksh, one mount Rudraksh. He also said that there was a Shivalinga on it, which I stoutly denied. He asked me to show the Rudraksh, which I did. He held the Rudraksh, made a gesture to suggest that he was looking at it intently. Then he said, "Here it is." And sure enough, there was a Shivalinga embedded on it. It has been there ever since. Rudraksh cure for me. I had been suffering from embolisis, which is characterized by acute diarrhea, for 2 years. Guruji gave me Amrit, divine nectar, and asked me to go back to my residence. I could not go to office that day as I went to the toilet at least 24 times. In the evening, Guruji rang me up and asked me about my health. I told him it was very bad. Guruji took a contrarian view. It was good. He said that all the disease are going out. The next morning, I felt that I had been fully cured and informed Guruji. He told me that the disease has not been cured and will be cured the next day. He also asked me to come to him. When I asked his place, he touched his Rudraksh and a spoon on my belly. I felt an electric shock go through the spot and fell. He only smiled and said, "Now it has gone. The disease, electrocuted, has not returned since then. And my wife is healed too." To cure my wife, Bubbly, he came to our house on a Saturday evening. 3 chapatis made of black lentil, urad dal, were prepared under his instructions. One half of a roti was torn and I was asked to flush it down the commode. He murmured something while placing the rest of the rotis on Bubbly's shoulder and then handed them over to me. He said these should be fed to a black dog. I was aghast. It was 9 p.m. and in the spick and span cantonment stray dogs that too black would be tough to find. I voiced my doubts. Guruji quietly told me to go to the ground floor. I was astonished to find a black stray dog near the foot of the stairs. Bubbly was cured that very moment. One day, Guruji had come to my house while many guests were present. My wife kept a bowl of almonds. Suddenly, he took a handful of almonds and started distributing them, saying, "Take walnut, pistachios, cardamom." The almonds were miraculously transformed into the dry fruits that he called out, removing a handicap. One of the Javans with me, Nag Anandan, was badly injured during an obstacle course and her vertebra was severely damaged. The soldier was treated but was to be boarded out of the army as he was permanently handicapped. I took him to Guruji at 4 in the morning. As I requested Guruji to cure him, Guruji replied, "Shall I cure him? Who is going to eat his sins? He will be born handicapped in the next life." I was puzzled but nevertheless requested him to burn the soldier's sin by the fire of his tapas. Guruji smiled and directed Anandan to lie down. He then touched him and assumed a ferocious stance, as if he was rebuking someone. On the ground, the soldier was whimpering and I was getting baffled. After a while, he redirected Anandan to get up and asked him to remove all the braces he was wearing. He told me it will not go in one day. Bring him again on the third day. The next day, I was going for the PT in the morning. Anandan was doing bent stretches on the barracks veranda as if showing me his strength. I immediately ordered him to stop, but he told me that there was no pain. He felt that his body was fully cured. I told him not to divulge into serious matters till Guruji saw him again on the appointed day. On the third day, we again went to Guruji, who called me near him and pointed to Anandan as an example of a person who had just been delivered from the clutches of the planet Saturn. Anandan had become fair and youthful and must have lost about 13 to 14 kg. I looked at Anandan and saw these changes had indeed come about. Guruji then asked Anandan what had happened after he had touched him. Anandan replied that he had not slept since then. Guruji immediately took a teaspoon and touched it to his thymus gland. He then directed me to take him to the barracks and let him sleep without any interruption. I had hardly got out of Guruji's place when Anandan's head came to rest on my shoulder. With the help of the driver, we took him inside the vehicle. Anandan slept for 3 days at a stretch and was fully cured. During the routine medical checkup, the doctor was surprised and a board of medical officers declared him fit for all the army duty. Feelers from Dead Wife. Colonel D.R.P. Chowdhury, a widower, used to stay opposite to our quarters in Chandi Mandir. One day, Guruji went to his house and pointing to a photo of a lady, asked him who she was. Colonel Chowdhury replied that she was his wife, long snatched away by fate never to return. Guruji said, "She's here. Do you want to see?" We were puzzled. He then lifted his hand and shifted a little. Suddenly, the photograph started shaking. The table on which the photograph was kept also started shaking. The almirah, cot, everything except the floor was shaking. Then slowly it subsided. Guruji said, "Her son is here. You are here. Where can she go? She's here. No need to slap him." Guruji had come to my house for the evening and a lot of people had come for the sangat. Colonel Chowdhury was trying to get my attention. We went to a room and he told me that he had told his teenage son, Tiltu, to come to my quarters and offer him pranam to the great sant. Tiltu, however, had replied that his age was for listening to music and going to the sands was for his father. Colonel Chowdhury could not control his anger and had slapped him. He then asked me to pacify his son. I told him that I would go in when the iron was cold. Both of us came back to the drawing room and sat close to Guruji as if nothing has happened. Guruji immediately looked at Colonel Chowdhury and said, "The son has grown up. What was the need to slap him?" At that very moment, Tiltu entered the room and bowed to Guruji. Mind reading games. Earlier, Guruji used to give a glass of Amrit to everybody. Only one glass was authorized per person, and I had my quota. Once I was sitting very close to Guruji and suddenly I thought, if Guruji gives me another glass, I shall know for certain that he was reading my mind. Guruji was giving the glass of Amrit to someone else, but he stopped and gave it to me. After about 15 minutes, I dismissed it as a coincidence. If he now gives me the third glass, I shall be sure he is reading my mind. I thought to myself. He stopped, gestured toward me and gave me the Amrit saying, "Have this Amrit yourself." Earlier, no one could touch Guruji, hence the people used to pranam him from a distance. Once I sat near him and was thinking that I was indeed lucky to have met him in life. But I would be very lucky if I was allowed to touch his feet. He glanced at me for a second just then. The next afternoon, he gave my house and desired to rest on my bed. I was delighted and took him to my bedroom. He then asked me if I had clarified butter in my house. I said yes, and he told me to massage his feet with it. By then, I had forgotten what I had prayed for the day before. After about half an hour, he asked me if I could leave now. It dawned on me that he had come only to fulfill my desire. 2020 vision at 42. When I was around 42 years of age, I found that my near vision was getting hazy. I went to Guruji and requested him to cure my eyesight. He told me that my eye was following nature's rule. I insisted that he improve my eyesight. He smiled and told me to lie down. He flashed a match near my eye and then poured some water with a spoon after murmuring something. Instantly, I started seeing everything crystal clear. He then told me that the remedy would work for 2 years. Thereafter, nature would take its course. Later, I was posted in Guwahati. One day, my near vision seemed blur. I refer to the diary where I had written down the date when Guruji had cured my eyes. Exactly 2 years ago. The speech my kin didn't give. When I was in Chandi Mandir, my brother-in-law, who was terrified of speaking in public, rang us up from Ranchi and requested that we approach Guruji to cancel his forthcoming lecture to army officers on electronic warfare. We took his photograph and went to Guruji at 4 in the morning. As soon as we entered Guruji's room, he smiled and said, "Did you get a letter or a trunk call from your brother-in-law? The coward, what does he want?" We narrated the problem. Guruji told us to sit down and continue to attend to other problems. Time was passing by, so we requested him to do something. He just motioned to us to wait. Suddenly, at 8 a.m., he asked for the photo. He brushed his finger over it and said, "I have transferred the problem. The lecture will now be given by a non-Hindu." We came back. In the evening, a trunk call from my brother-in-law confirmed that the lecture would now be given by a Muslim officer of the army. We asked him when the decision has been confirmed. It was 8:05 a.m. Exactly, he said. Healing cold to uncommon melodies. An orderly had been assigned to me to replace the one who had gone on leave. The new orderly was having a sex change problem. Our Sabidar Major was worried and I was worried. How would he now stay in the Jawan's barracks? Guruji had come to our home around this time and I requested him to cure this boy. Guruji asked, "Where do you get these patients from?" I replied, "Guruji, he's destined by faith to be cured and hence he has come to me." Guruji placed a spoon at his back and the Jawan was cured. Once I was running with a fever and was basking in the sun on the roof. Guruji came to our house at about 3 in the afternoon and asked about my condition. I had a running nose, a headache, fever, and a foul taste in my mouth. He directed my wife to call a doctor. Colonel Chaudhary immediately came with a thermometer. He told Guruji that my temperature was 103 degrees Fahrenheit. Guruji anxiously asked the doctor how could I be cured. Colonel Chaudhary replied that with the medicines A cure would be effected in 48 hours, otherwise, it may take 3 days. Guruji then asked my wife to get a spoon, some common salt, and a little water. These were brought. Guruji then took a little salt and water in the spoon, murmured something, and asked me to raise my head. He poured the concoction down my nose. I felt as everything inside was about to come out. I rushed to the toilet and a lot of fluid came out through my nose. I washed my face and came out within 30 seconds. Guruji then asked the doctor to take the temperature again. It was 97.5 degrees Fahrenheit. He asked me if I still had a running nose, headache, and a foul taste in my mouth. Quickly healed. I gratefully replied to all in the negative. Touched with a rose. Once during the middle of the January 1985, Guruji announced that on 25th January, on my wife Bubbly's birthday, he would come to my house in the evening. Lots of people came to our house that day. Some ladies were giving their shawl to Guruji for making them pregnant. Guruji was wearing the shawl just once and saying, "The fragrance will return for a week or 15 days or for a day," as the case may be to different ladies. I had given him a military blanket and asked him how long the fragrance would remain. He smiled and said it will last for a year, and it was so. Enjoying Guruji's grace in Dehradun. I was in Dehradun and had no contact with Guruji for past 3 years. Suddenly, one night I had excruciating pain in my ears. Both my eardrums burst. The next morning I went to an ENT specialist. He informed me that both of my eardrums had been totally damaged. In fact, he gave me the message in writing since I could not hear a thing. The doctor said the army doctors will do an eardrum transplant, but that 95% of these failed. Therefore, he added I should be mentally prepared for being boarded out of the army. The same night, a Sikh gentleman came to my house. He said that Guruji had sent him from Jalandhar with a bottle of Amrit, as Guruji knew that I had become deaf. After I had taken the Amrit for 4 to 5 days, my eardrums reformed and I could hear fully. The doctors were baffled. While I was still in Dehradun, the government sanctioned in 1988 a loan for the purpose of a car. I was in a dilemma about where should I buy the car from, Dehradun, Delhi or Kolkata. A trunk call came from Colonel Chaudhary, posted at Delhi. He said that Guruji had entered his office like a storm and said, "Chatterjee is now at Dehradun and is worried about the purchase of his car. Tell him that the car is waiting at Chandigarh." He went out immediately. Brigadier Chaudhary ran behind him. There was a long corridor, but Guruji could not be seen. Thinking that Guruji must have come to Delhi, Brigadier Chaudhary rang up the Jalandhar residence, where Guruji used to stay. Chaudhary asked where Guruji was in Delhi so he could go and have his darshan. The man answering the call said that the Guruji had never gone anywhere and was sitting and smiling right in front of him. I bought the car from Chandigarh. It ran perfectly till I sold it in 2006. Jai Guruji.